Okay. So see, this is your biology madam. So in the last class we have discussed about the some of the parts in our lesson, some of the topics, cell, its structure and functions. Okay, right? See, in the last class we have discussed what is a cell, what are its different types of cell, its sizes and shape. Okay, so many things we have discussed. We have also discussed about the cell components. Okay, in that if you see, a cell is mainly composed of three main components. Okay, three main components: cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. So in the last class we have discussed about the cell membrane. Okay, so see, what is the cell membrane? It is the outermost layer of the cell. So see, this cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane. This name was coined by, plasma membrane was coined by the scientist named Nageli. Okay, see, the cell membrane was made up of with proteins and lipids. If you see, this is the structure of cell membrane. So see, here you can see these parts are known as lipid bilayer. Bilayer means two layers of lipids, and in between the lipids you will observe protein molecules. So cell membrane was made up of lipids and proteins. Okay, here you see this end is known as hydrophobic in nature, and this end of the lipid molecule is known as hydrophilic in nature. If you see, what is hydrophobic? Hydrophobic means, hydro means we all know this is water. Okay, and phobic means phobia, fear. Okay, so see, this end is hydrophobic in nature, means it won't binds with water. Okay, so this end, if you see, it is hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic means love towards water. It loves water, means it takes water. So at this end it allows the water, and at this end it does not allows the water. So see, like this, with the lipid molecules and protein molecules, the cell membrane was made. Okay, see, this cell membrane was semi-permeable in nature. Semi-permeable means it only allows some of the substances into the cell. Okay, it does not allows all the substances to go out of the cell. If a cell allows all the substances, all the water molecules and cytoplasmic contents out of the cell, what happens? It will shrinks. Okay, so if you see, if it allows all the substances from the external environment into the internal environment of the cell, what happens? The cell may takes lot of water and it will burst out. Okay, so the cell membrane is semi-permeable membrane. It acts as a semi-permeable membrane. It does not allow all the substances to enter. Okay, next to see the nucleus. So what is the nucleus? So if you see the structure of a cell, and in between within the cell you will be able to see one dark color region. So that is nothing but called as a nucleus. Okay children, if you see, this nucleus is known as control room of the cell. What is it known as? Control room of the cell. Okay, so see, the study of nucleus is known as karyology. The study of nucleus is known as karyology. Do you know that? Okay, so see children, the nucleus has divided into four parts. What are the four parts of the nucleus? Is nucleolus, chromatin material, nuclear membrane and nucleoplasm. What are the four distinct parts of a nucleus? Nucleolus, chromatin material and nuclear membrane and then nucleoplasm. So see first about nuclear membrane. So see, this nuclear membrane separates the contents of the nucleoplasm with the cytoplasm. Okay, outside of the nucleus we have so many cell organelles and cytoplasm. So this nuclear membrane separates the contents of the nucleus within the cell and within the nucleus and out of the nucleus. So see, in between this nuclear membrane you will be able to see some gaps. So those are nothing but known as nuclear pores. So nuclear pores allow some substances and also exit of some substances through this membrane. Okay, see next about what is nucleolus. Nucleolus is a large distinct part in the nucleus. So nucleolus has a master plan for rRNA synthesis. It has a master plan for rRNA synthesis. Children, do you know what is rRNA? R and R stands for ribosomal and RNA means you already know ribosomal nucleic acid. Okay, so it helps in the synthesis of rRNA. Okay, rRNA molecules. rRNA molecules nothing but it helps in the protein synthesis. Okay, so next see what is nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm, it is also known as nuclear sap. Okay, so the fluid like substances inside the nucleus is known as nucleoplasm. So next to see this net like substance is some thread like substances are there, no? So these thread like substances are known as thread like material is known as chromatin material. So what is chromatin material? So it acts as a hereditary material. So what is meant by hereditary material? So see, this chromatin material helps in the passing of characters from one generation to the another generation. Okay, so characters were passed from generation to generation with the help of this chromatin material. So that's why this nucleus is known as control room of the cell. Why? Because all the cellular activities are controlled by the nucleus. Okay children, so based on the presence or absence of this nuclear membrane, the cells are categorized into two types. Once again, based on the presence or absence of the nuclear membrane, the cells are categorized into two types: prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So see, what are prokaryotic cells and what are eukaryotic cells? See children, prokaryotic cells, pro means first, karyon means nucleus, okay. Prokaryotic cells, they do not contain a well-defined nucleus with nuclear membrane, okay. So they do not have a well-defined nucleus with the nuclear membrane, okay. So see, some examples of the prokaryotic cells are blue-green algae and cyanobacteria. See children, if you see the bacteria, they contain only some genetic material inside the body, inside the cell. So this genetic material, they do not have a nucleus and nuclear membrane. Okay, so that's why these are all known as prokaryotic cells. Once again, prokaryotic cells do not have a well defined nucleus. They do not have a bounded nuclear membrane. Okay, nuclear bounded nuclear membrane. So see, these prokaryotic cells are old cells, whereas eukaryotic cells are modern cells. Okay, so what are eukaryotic cells? See, eukaryotic cells contain a well defined nucleus with the nuclear membrane. Okay, eukaryotic cells contain a well defined nucleus with the nuclear membrane. Okay children, that's why these cells are known as eukaryotic cells. So see here, U means true, karyon means nucleus. U means true, karyon means nucleus. They have a true nucleus with the nuclear membrane. So see, what are the examples for the eukaryotic organisms? Or amoeba, paramecium comes under the eukaryotic cells. Okay, we also comes under eukaryotic cells. So see, these amoeba, paramecium also unicellular in nature, and bacteria also unicellular in nature. But bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, these are all the old organisms, and eukaryotic organisms are modern organisms. Okay, see children, the nucleus, the genetic material which present in bacteria, it is known as nucleoid. Okay, the genetic material which is present in prokaryotic cells is known as nucleoid. So, what is nucleolus? So, here we should know what is the difference between nucleoid and nucleolus. So, see, nucleolus in the sense it is present in eukaryotic cells which has a well defined nucleus and nuclear membrane, but in prokaryotic cells this nucleoid does not contain a nucleus and nuclear membrane. Understood children? Okay, did you get my point? So next see, what about cytoplasm? What about cytoplasm? What is cytoplasm, Nana? Cytoplasm is the fluid content present inside the cell. Understood my point? Did you get my point? Cytoplasm means, cyto means a cell, plasm means fluid like material. So cytoplasm is the fluid like material which is present inside the cell membrane. Okay, so if you see in this cytoplasm, there were many cell organelles are floating in the cytoplasm. So it contains many cell organelles. This cytoplasm is also known as protoplasm at first. So see, why they called it as protoplasm means, at first they thought, our scientists thought the essence of life was stored in the cytoplasm, the protoplasm. Okay, the essence of life was stored in the protoplasm. That's why they named it as protoplasm. Okay, so see, after they concluded, after our scientists had invented about all the parts of the cell, so they named it as cytoplasm. Okay, so they also differentiated the nucleoplasm with the cytoplasm. So the fluid content which is present inside the cell is known as cytoplasm. The fluid content which is present inside the nucleus is known as nucleoplasm. Okay children, this is about the cytoplasm. So with this we know about all the cell components. What are the cell organelles present in a cell? Okay, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, ribosomes, lysosomes, mitochondria, chloroplast and vacuoles. These are all the different cell organelles present in a cell. Okay, let's cool. Next, the first, today we are going to learn about some organelles of the cell. Okay, so the first organelle present in a cell is endoplasmic reticulum. So see here, what is meant by endoplasmic reticulum? Endo means outside, plasmic. So see endoplasmic, what is endoplasmic reticulum? So see here, endoplasmic reticulum is the membranous tubular structure. Endoplasmic reticulum is, it has some membrane and tube-like structure which arises from the nuclear membrane. Okay, so this arises from the nuclear membrane. It has several membranes. It falls into several membranes. They appears as tube-like structures. So see children, what is the main role of endoplasmic reticulum? It helps in the transport of materials from the nucleus to the other cell organelles. Okay, it helps in the transport of materials from the nucleus to other cell organelles. So see, this endoplasmic reticulum was first discovered by a scientist named Porter in the year 1948. So this endoplasmic reticulum is also known as cytoskeleton. Okay, this endoplasmic reticulum is also known as cytoskeleton of the cell. So why? Because it has many membranes and it appears as a tube-like structure. So see children, this endoplasmic reticulum is mainly of two types. One is rough endoplasmic reticulum and the other one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So see, what is rough endoplasmic reticulum and what is smooth endoplasmic reticulum? So rough endoplasmic reticulum in the sense, on the surface of the membranes of the endoplasmic reticulum, if ribosomes are present, that is known as RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. So these granule-like structures are known as ribosomes. Okay, if ribosomes are present on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, that is known as RER. So smooth ER, they do not contain ribosome granules on their surfaces. What is the help of, what is the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum and what is the function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? So see children, RER helps in protein synthesis. Whereas SER helps in the synthesis or manufacture of lipids. Lipids synthesis. Synthesis is nothing but manufacturing. Okay. So rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of proteins, whereas smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of lipids. So see, this smooth endoplasmic reticulum in vertebrate cells. Okay, in vertebrate cells, this SER plays a crucial role in detoxifying many poisons and drugs. Okay children, detoxifies many poisons and drugs. Okay, so in vertebrate cells means, vertebrates means the animals which contains chordates. Okay, so vertebrate cells, smooth endoplasmic reticulum plays a crucial role in detoxifying the poisons and drugs. Okay children, so this is about endoplasmic reticulum. So see, sometimes this endoplasmic reticulum is attached to the cell membrane, so which is helpful in the transportation of materials from the nucleus to the cell membrane. Okay. So this is about endoplasmic reticulum. Okay children. So Golgi complex. Next cell organelle is Golgi complex. So see, this is the structure of Golgi complex. So at first this Golgi complex was observed by a scientist named Camillo Golgi in the year 1898. Okay. So he was observed this Golgi complex under the compound microscope. So its finer structure, its clear cut structure was observed under the electron microscope. Okay. So at first Camillo Golgi observed this Golgi complex under the compound microscope, but its finer structure will be clearly we can see under the electron microscope. So see children, this Golgi complex is known as the packaging house of the cell. Okay. Why it is calling it as? Why it is calling as packaging house of the cell? So see, the endoplasmic reticulum is the site for protein synthesis. In that, smooth endoplasmic reticulum is the site for the synthesis of lipids, right? So the whatever the substances that were synthesized by the endoplasmic reticulum, they were directly transported into the Golgi complex. Okay, they were transported to the Golgi complex. This Golgi complex packs all the substances. Okay, this Golgi complex packs all the substances whatever transported through the endoplasmic reticulum. So see, for example, I like Palkova very much. Okay, so the materials, the raw materials needed to prepare Palkova. So they were, the raw materials are prepared by the endoplasmic reticulum, and these raw materials were transported to the Golgi complex, and in this Golgi complex the materials were slightly changed to prepare Palkova. Okay, so from this Golgi complex I will get that Palkova. It is now ready to eat, it is now ready to use. Okay, like that the endoplasmic reticulum transports the materials whatever it prepares into the Golgi complex. Golgi complex slightly alters the substances to be useful. So then the materials packed by this Golgi complex, that they were transported to through the vesicles. These vesicles helps in the transportation of various substances. Okay, so the substances which were prepared in the Golgi complex, they were transported either to the cell membrane or to the cell organelles. Okay. So the materials will be transported from the Golgi complex to the cell membrane. So the cell membrane, either it uses itself to repair the cell membrane or to regenerate the cell membrane, or else these materials will send out of the cell through the cell membrane. Okay, understood children? At first function of the Golgi complex is to pack various substances. Okay, so after the packing of various substances, these substances will be transported to the cell membrane. So the cell membrane, after transferring these substances to the cell membrane uses these substances to repair itself, or else it reforms again. Okay, or else it helps in these substances helps in the reformation of the cell membrane, or these substances will be sent out of the cell through the cell membrane. Understood? So this is about the Golgi complex. Once again, this Golgi complex is known as the packaging house of the cell. Okay children? Okay children, our next cell organelle is lysosomes. Okay, so see, these lysosomes are some hollow spaces inside the cell. So in this hollow spaces, they contain some fluid like materials. So those fluid like materials are known as hydrolytic enzymes. Okay, what they are named as hydrolytic enzymes. So these hydrolytic enzymes are helpful in the digestion of some other waste products which are generated in the metabolism within the cell. Okay, so once again see, lysosomes are the nothing but some hollow spaces, some empty spaces present inside the cell. So inside the lysosomes, they contain some fluid like materials. So these fluid like materials were known as destructive enzymes or hydrolytic enzymes. So see, these lysosomes were first described by a scientist named Christian Diouf. Okay, so see, who described the lysosomes? At first, Christian Diouf. So what are the hydrolytic enzymes? They may be okay. So see, these hydrolytic enzymes they contain some destructive enzymes. So while the cell metabolism, so some of the waste products are produced from the cell metabolism. Okay, these waste materials were digested by the hydrolytic enzymes present inside the lysosomes. Okay children, so with the help of these hydrolytic enzymes, some of the substances will be digested. So see, they helps in the extracellular digestion, they helps in the extracellular digestion, intracellular digestion, okay. These hydrolytic enzymes are helpful in the extracellular digestion, intracellular digestion and autolysis. So see, what is extracellular digestion? So first of all, this is our cell. So a bacteria which is harmful to our body that entered into the cell. Okay, the bacteria which is harmful to our body that entered into the cell. So what happens then? Extracellular means out of the cell, means these lysosomes releases some hydrolytic enzymes on this bacteria, and these hydrolytic enzymes will kills the bacteria. So this is known as extracellular digestion. Okay, for suppose it is very harmful, it is a pathogenic, for suppose see it is a coronavirus, so that much it is harmful to our cells. So what happens? The lysosome engulfs the bacteria or virus, it means it takes into the lysosomes, so it destroys this bacteria or virus within this lysosome. So this is known as intracellular digestion. So means what is meant by autolysis? Autolysis means, so lysis of cell itself, so it leads to the cell death. For suppose if this cell became very old, it does not want to work, so that time this lysosomes releases these hydrolytic enzymes or destructive enzymes within the cell itself. So these destructive enzymes will collapse all the cell materials. Okay, then the cell leads to death. Okay, so this is known as autolysis. Okay, that's why, so these lysosomes are known as suicidal bags of the cell. Okay, lysosomes are known as suicidal bags of the cell. Okay, why? Because with its own cell organelle, the cell was destructing itself. Okay, So when it was happens, when the cell becomes very older, when it do not likes to function, so that time the lysosome releases its destructive enzymes into the cell. So then these destructive enzymes acts upon all the cell organelles. At last it leads to the cell death. Okay, so this is known as autolysis. That's why lysosomes are known as suicidal bags of the cell. Okay children, I hope you understood. In the next class, we will discuss about ribosomes, mitochondria, chloroplast and vacuoles. Okay children.